He took her to the third building in the crescent and opened the door. She was shocked that the place was packed. A random selection of men and women registered in her mind, a woman knitting, men lined up at the back with their arms folded across their chests, either in boredom or impatience, a woman holding a rope that was tied to a lamb with a blue bow around its neck, and a large contingent of women who were sorting quilt blocks at 3 tables grouped together.
"Quiet down, everyone," Hugh said above the noise of the room. "I want to introduce Ms. Potter." He motioned for her to step forward. "She has come from St. Louis to help us."
"To help us do what?" said an elderly lady.
"She's a wedding planner."
But Hugh hadn't actually answered the woman's question. He turned to Abby.
"That there is Gunna. She works in the carding machine area of the mill."
He then focused his attention back on the group.
"Some of you might have noticed that I've been working at changing the direction of Whussendale, and I believe I've come up with a stellar plan. As you all know, cheaper fabrics from other countries have become available, causing the demand for quality woolens to drop, along with the population of the village. Whussendale is going to pivot from being a wool-only community to one that showcases artisans such as potters, glassworkers, painters.
"Quilters," said a woman, holding up a stack of quilt blocks.
"Yes, Cora, quilters. I think the quilt retreats, like the ones in Gandigau that you and the other ladies have been holding, have made a nice difference to our village. But we need more. I believe Whussendale can become quite a tourist attraction if we all embrace the changes that will be coming."
Grumbles went up around the room, making Abby feel awkward and on the wrong side of things. She wondered if she should take a seat, or better yet, sneak out while the laird spoke to his people. There was no real way to slip past him without drawing attention to herself. She was stuck.
"I believe the best way to start that change is to offer up Whussendale as a destination wedding venue. Hence the reason Ms. Potter is here,"
Hugh said, glancing over at her and smiling. But Abby thought there was a major hole in his plan. She held her hand up. "Excuse me, Laird McGillivray?"
"Yes? Do you have a question?"
"I do." She'd have to tread lightly and not be direct, but she needed to point out that the village was too small for what he wanted to accomplish. "I'm concerned about where we might house the wedding party and the guests here in Whussendale. I didn't see any accommodations when we drove through town. There hadn't been one hotel along the highway and byways since they'd left Edinburgh."
"Aye, good point," Hugh said. "Until we get that portion squared away, the guests will stay in my home."
Some in the crowd were nodding their heads, but Abby didn't believe his house could be big enough, judging by the size of the cottages within the village and the cottages sitting behind the wool mill buildings. Hugh smiled at her, chuckling.